Hi guys, I'm so excited today to get on our podcast with the episode number 2 with the topic of yoga and body shape. And I'm very happy to get our guest today, Marisela. I hope that I'm pronouncing your name correctly. So she's a very experienced yoga teacher and she also a Pilates teacher. So you're also teaching Pilates, is that correct?
I do, yes. I specialize in mat Pilates.
That's really interesting because our topic today is about body shape. So I guess that combining your knowledge and experience in yoga and Pilates, you will give our audience like a lot of insights about how to tone our body and answer all of the questions about the relationship between yoga and body shape. This podcast is brought to you by The Warrior 2, a brand dedicated to yoga and wellness. So you can find a range of our yoga bags on Amazon US as well as Canada, Australia, and also you can find our products on our website at thewarrior2.com. We make your yoga journey more enjoyable with high quality, durable yoga bags with intuitive designs that focus on user experience. Simply, we aim to make your yoga hassle-free and more enjoyable. Okay, so I can't wait to get into all of the questions that are very popular in the yoga community. But before going through all of the questions, I believe that our audience also want to know a little bit about yourself. How did you get into yoga and Pilates? And can you share a little bit with our audience about yourself?
Sure. Hi, I am Marisela Montiel. I was born in Caracas, Venezuela, and I still live here. I have over 15 years in experience doing yoga. Mm-hmm. How did I get into my first yoga class? Through a boyfriend. Really? We were looking for some time together, and he had some practice, and we started to do it together. And the only thing that worked out of that relationship was yoga. I'm very thankful for him. He told me this way. It is the first time that I stand on a yoga mat and start hearing my breath and start hearing my heart. Something inside of me said, "You're home. Welcome back." I didn't know what was going on because you're standing there and there's the teacher teaching you poses and movements and tell you how to breathe. And I was a total beginner, but inside of me, it felt familiar. It felt okay. This is not a competition because nobody's seeing me. Nobody's watching what I'm doing. I am watching him, but he's also connected to everyone here. We were over 50 people in that class. It was very hard. And I continued to go because I was very curious. And when I finally got to do chaturanga, the flex of the elbows, the flexion was like, it was 6 months later after my first class. And just going one step after the other, not only in my body, but also in my mind. I remember going out of these classes feeling so light. I was very overwhelmed because I was young. I was like 21 or something. I was very young, very confused, still going to college, figuring out what I was doing with my life. I was even studying history and I love my career, but I don't do it because I fell in love with this practice. And one thing left to the other. When you do yoga, you meet a lot of people that are dancers and teachers of other physical practices. So you start knowing each other and you are all sweat and you are in your clothes of yoga. So we are like the same inside of a yoga class. So there is a situation of being horizontal and being calm and being connected with you and the other, because yoga is a collective practice. That is a practice that you do with a group of people. So we were starting to make friends and connections, and a friend invited me to a Pilates class, and then this is something super different, but at the same time, this is going to be extra helpful with my Ashtanga because practicing Ashtanga is super hard. And I was flexible, but I wasn't strong, which is a thing that is normal for us women. Men are different, they are stronger, but maybe not that flexible. So I kept practicing and I knew that there was a bridge that connects both practices.
Yeah, it's very interesting. And it actually gave me goosebumps when you shared about the first time that you interacted with yoga and the first time you listen, actually really listen to your breath, and you never know that when love happens, right, it comes.
Yeah.
You never know that, and when that moment comes, your instinct and your heart will tell you that. So
Totally.
you mentioned about a type of yoga. That, can you clarify, can you spell it out, the type of yoga that you mentioned?
Ashtanga is like, in English they call it.
Is it something similar to hatha?
It is. Hatha yoga is all the physical practice of yoga, because yoga is a wide practice of singing mantras and breathing and meditating and being with for others. And the physical part is only one branch of that huge tree that is yoga. So Ashtanga can be power yoga. I think it's power yoga.
Power yoga. How does it spell?
Ashtanga, Ashtanga.
Ashtanga. Okay. So just to make it clear for our audience to really understand what it is about, it's really interesting. So in other words, it's like power yoga, right?
It is power yoga.
Yes. Yeah, it's very interesting to know that how you got into yoga like 15 years ago. Time flies. Yeah. And one of the most popular questions that people have about yoga, and who also have the concern or the goal of getting their bodies into shape. So the question is, can you get into shape from yoga? That is a question, and we would like to know your opinion.
The answer is yes, totally. Especially with practices that are more cardio than others. For example, yin yoga, which is amazing, is so beautiful. It's a kind of hatha yoga or physical yoga that is very slow, very smooth, very kind to your body. You can spend, I don't know, minutes in one single pose. You're surrounded by pillows, and it's super relaxing. So you probably will get more flexible with yoga.
Sorry, yin yoga is YIN, right?
Correct. Yes.
All right, continue. Sorry for interrupting.
No, don't worry, please. Ask me anything. That's why I'm here. Hatha yoga, that is like the modern type of yoga that came to the States in the 60s. It is more focused on the body, yes. And you will get flexible. And there is a part of the class in which you start to breathe deep because you need to, because the body is doing some effort to do all the steps and do all the poses. And that will help you to lose weight and get stronger. But power yoga, or Ashtanga yoga, I had overweight when I started. Yeah, not like too much, but 20 kilos. I don't know in pounds how much it is.
By the way, you look amazing.
Thank you very much. You too. You're very good. I start losing measures. I see my arms like, whoa, I'm strong. And my neck and my waist. And I wasn't looking for that.
Wow.
I was trying to save a relationship. And it was a surprise that my clothes started to fit better or maybe bigger than my body was. So I was, oh, this is awesome. Yes. But particularly, I felt better. My God, I can breathe. Oh my God, I can stand. Like going on the subway. Sometimes you have to fall on the bar on the subway and be like this. No, you're steady and you're
balance. Yeah.
Yes, your balance. And if you practice another type of cardio, like I do, I like to run, for example, yoga gives you a lot of tools to keep steady, to keep focus, and to breathe. It's so important to breathe. So if you breathe better, you will be better at another type of physical practices. So the answer is absolutely yes. You can get into the better shape, better in commas, doing yoga. Of course, that you have to do it with a balance eating, and everybody is different, of course, but in my case it was useful for that.
Yeah, it's awesome to know that, and especially not only from yourself as a professional, you have knowledge and expertise in this, but also like from your own experience as well. A small question is that how often back then you practice yoga and that led to some changes in your body, like you noticed that, okay, you starting to get in shape. So how often, the frequency of practicing?
Yeah. I was a university student, so I had a lot of time. I started to go 2 times a week, and I ended going 5 times a week.
Okay.
Like 1 hour and a half. But I have students that are in their 40s, 50s, 60s that do yoga once or twice a week. And they start noticing the changes in their body, maybe not as quick, But totally, there is a good thing about yoga, which I like, that it works the muscles in a way that you get stronger, but also lean, like elegant. There is you have seen this in commas. Well, I hate this phrase, but it happens. Like everybody is a yoga body. But in some ways, in some bodies, that start to happen. I have seen it in all. I have a person who is in their 40s and he's overweight, but I have seen the shapes of his arms and the legs, and I've seen the changes. We have been working together for 8 months around, and I've seen it like, okay, this works in this position, this working in this direction.
It's amazing. Yeah, we got the answer now. Even like people in middle age, in their 40s, even 60, and they only do just 2 times a week of yoga, they can also notice the change in their bodies. You mentioned that it doesn't happen fast, but with that frequency, like around after how many months they can notice that?
That will depend on your eating, that will depend on your habits, that will depend on your amount of stress, because stress hormones avoid us to get into the shape that we want. So if the person is working too hard, if the person doesn't sleep good, if the person is not taking water enough, if the person has a physical condition like diabetes or something similar, it may be more difficult. So it will depend. But I will say 3 months to start. Like the first changes, you can see the little changes that we only see. We alone, oh, I see this. I feel this in the shower. Oh, this is different. 3 months, and then where you can start to notice it after 6 months.
Yeah, that's great.
I will say, but again, that will depend.
Yeah, it depends. Yeah, so that leads to our second question that many people ask. What happens after 3 months of yoga? For example, if you do 3 times of yoga per week and around 1 hour per session. So through what you have shared, I think that we already got the answer. Like you just mentioned, even somebody just needs to do around 2 times a week. And after 3 to 6 months, he or she can notice some changes in their body. So this is what people usually ask. What happens after 3 months of yoga? Yeah. For example, if you do 3 times a week.
Surely you will start to breathe better. You will have a better position. You will feel more capable to speak because you will breathe better. You will feel capable to sleep better because you breathe better.
Yeah.
You probably will feel more elastic and you will probably feel a little bit more relaxed.
That's amazing. Yeah. Sleep also connects to everything in our life. If we don't sleep well, it will affect our other aspects in life. So yoga helps us like breathe better. And then from breathing properly, it will lead to other benefits. Of course, when you feel more relaxed, you can sleep better, right?
Totally.
Yeah, so it's really like a domino effect.
A good domino effect.
Yeah,
totally.
Yeah, of yoga. So another similar question people ask, how quickly does yoga change your body? On this topic, through the number of scenarios that we just discussed about, I think that to this point, we all have the answer that you don't even have to do every day, like 5 days a week yoga, but just 2 times a week. And if you do it like consistently enough for 3 months, 4 months, you will notice straight away the better change in our body shape, the muscle. As Marisela has shared, is that it tones our muscle and make our muscle like leaner. Is that what you said?
Yeah, that's what I said. Yes, totally.
So actually, it doesn't take long at all for yoga to have some good impact on our body. As people normally think that, oh, it takes time, it's slow, it's not cardio, we don't do weightlifting or we don't run. But to what Marisela has shared with us, like actually yoga can have impact on our body shape pretty quickly if we do it consistently. Yeah. And okay, so another question that people also ask, what happens if somebody does yoga every day for a month? Let's go to another extreme level, like you do it every day, like 7 days a week.
That's such an interesting question. You will probably start to notice that the practice and the poses start to feel not only in the physical body, but in your mind and in your, if you believe it, if you believe in that, I believe, in your soul, something starts to happen. There are some poses that work the fear. So you may feel uncomfortable doing those poses, uncomfortable to breathe, even though your lungs are totally free to do it. You're not holding anything, you're not attached to anything that doesn't allow you to breathe, but still you feel like you cannot, especially all the folding forward poses. And if you start to do yoga every single day, you will probably start feeling that your life is more easy to live. I will dare to say that. It's tiny, it's subtle, it's not a big, absolutely change, it's not a magic wand. But in my case, and I have seen it in my students, that they start to feel more happy about life, more positive about the idea of living, more positive about confronting their own problems. So you will start to build your own sadhana. Sadhana is the Sanskrit word. In yoga, we say a lot of things in Sanskrit, which is the ancient language from India, which is the country where yoga was born. And sadhana means your own practice. I have my first teacher, I love him. He's always said to us, there are as many kinds of yoga as practitioners of yoga in the world. So if you do a class with a teacher, you will probably start doing the class, of course, but your own class at the same time, your own modifications, your own way to breathe here, maybe slower, maybe you can take a little more time into that pose, or maybe you will do it faster than the teacher, but still going with the flow of the class. Or maybe you will start to build your sadhana in your house or in the park, doing it by yourself. And that is absolutely beautiful because you will own your practice. Maybe you can start. That's something that I always say to my students, especially when we have been working for months. I said, listen to my voice, listening to my voice in your mind, and do it as you want to do it. Do it as you will to do it. Stay in that pose as much time as you need to and want to. And especially after the class is done, I ask them, if you think that you need to do something else, you're free to do it because it is your practice. And if you need to do something outside the yoga mat that is similar to yoga, do it again. Meaning that in yoga, we are balancing our bodies. And it is normal to fall down. For example, if you're standing on one foot for 10, 20 breathings, you will fall or not. But probably, especially start the practice, you will fall. What happens if you fall? Absolutely nothing. You will do it again. And maybe it doesn't happen that day. Maybe it will happen the next week. And that is fine. And that is exactly the same thing that we need to do outside of our yoga mats. If you fall, symbolically speaking, like I made a mistake or I had a fight or something wrong happened, you won't stay on the floor, you will rise up. Those are the changes that probably will start feeling in your mind and in your soul. And in your body, you will start feeling a lot stronger, flexible. Totally.
That's amazing. Like hearing what you have shared just reminded me that I want to do yoga more. So I am also a yogi for quite a while now, a number of years. But recently, due to my busy schedule, I do meditation every morning, and then I do some cardio and some muscle toning exercise. So I feel like I don't have enough time for yoga. But to what you have shared, that if somebody does yoga every day for a month, for example, like you said, that he or she will feel life is easier to live. They will feel happier and totally, like enjoying life better. Really like some kind of reminder to me, and I believe that to many of our audience right now, is that probably spend a little bit more time with yoga. Of course, we are always busy. We are feeling like always in lack of time. But if we spend time meaningfully and in for the quality activities like yoga, it will make our life much better and better quality. So yeah, so maybe one day you would teach me yoga and we would
I would love to, yes.
Record it and share live with the audience so they can join us as well. So
I would love that.
I thought of that. I really love to do that.
And talking about time, you can do yoga 5 minutes every single day. Sitting down and meditate is yoga. Singing a mantra that you like is yoga. Breathing and a breathing exercise, some pranayama, it is yoga. Doing one single sun salutation, the most simple one, it is yoga.
Yes.
So you have time.
Yeah, definitely.
You have 2 minutes, 5 minutes a day. You do your practice, you're doing yoga. Yes, we always have time.
Totally agree. Time is about what we do in a minute of time. If we can spend like 15 minutes on social media very quickly, right? Whereas we can spend that 10 or 15 minutes on quality activities like yoga. And that leads to another question that our audience also asking a lot is that does yoga reduce belly fat? So we want to know your opinion about that.
Does yoga reduce belly fat? Fun story. When I started doing yoga, I was a little overweight. And doing the twisting, just sitting or standing straight, and you have to twist your body, probably with the leg here and the arm on the other direction. So your body contracts on one side. So I have to move my belly fat on one side. And I said that to my students that has a little bit here or there, we all do. Just grab it and move it. Works, like the fat is moving. But what I will say, what I will recommend is to do a type of yoga that is more cardio, like power yoga or Ashtanga yoga or Vinyasa flow yoga, that you know that you are moving a lot. Because other types of yoga can help, but if you want to reduce it, like straight, like right now, do a type of yoga that is more power.
So that is very interesting. So we just mentioned about yin yoga. As far as I know, yin yoga is more of like you stay in a position for even 5 minutes or two, like that kind of length. At the same time, you mentioned like power yoga, flow yoga, that may have better impact on our belly toning. So can you share a little bit specifically what types of yoga that can help us reduce belly fat better than some other types, such as I believe that yin yoga is not something, of course, any kind of yoga is good, but I'm not sure yin yoga is something that can help us reduce belly fat faster than other types of yoga. So can you share a little bit more about that?
There is a kind of yoga that you do on a hot room. They call it hot yoga. And I don't need it because I live in Venezuela and every single yoga room is a hot yoga room. But I know that there's a type of sauna in which you do the practice and you sweat a lot and you move a lot. So hot yoga can be a good practice to help you reduce belly fat. Power, vinyasa, flow yoga, all those type of yoga in which you don't stay too much on one single position are good yogas to reduce belly fat totally. What I will say is to also, if you want to reduce belly fat like quicker than 6 months, go ahead and practice maybe 2 times a week another type of exercise. I don't know, tennis, swimming, jogging, or going to the gym. And if you want to keep yoga as your main practice, that will help you a lot. And it will help you throughout another practices, as I said in the beginning of this interview. That will be my answer, yeah.
That's great to know. Hot yoga, power yoga, and
Vinyasa and Ashtanga.
Sorry, can you spell it out?
Vinyasa. Vinyasa is the same as flow. Actually, it is a translation of the word. Vinyasa means transition, and the transition is flowing. But how do you spell that? With the Vinyasa.
Yes, sir. And Yastanga as well, right? Is that
yes, Ashtanga is super cardio.
We will go to the last question today. People have been wondering about which should they choose, yoga or Pilates? Which one is better? So can you help clear out all of this unsure in the people's mind? Yes, please let us know. What do you think about this?
That's a great question because the answer is none. Which one is good, better? No, both of those practices are incredibly good, at least for me. I have that kind of personality. I like to stretch. I like to be barefooted. I like to sit and breathe. But I have known a lot of people that doesn't like that. So they prefer Pilates because they have a structure, even though yoga is very structured too. They have a structure, and sometimes there are a lot of prejudice around yoga. Oh, that is too spiritual for me. Oh, that is against my religion. And it's not against any religion, of course. And if you want to, you can choose a non-religious yoga practice and just be benefit out of the physical part, and that's it. What happens with yoga? This is my opinion, can be a little bit polemic. When I started, my body presents extra, I am super flexible in my hips articulations, my shoulders articulations. That happens a lot with women. So it was easy for me to go into these crazy poses. And when I turned 30, I started feeling a little bit of pain in my joints. What happens here? And after I was 35, the pain was a little bit more. And then I remember Pilates. Pilates gives you limits. Yoga probably don't. That happens. So if you know your Pilates, you know your core activation, and you know how to listen to your body and not going to the edge of a pose, you will do a safer yoga practice. A lot of my yoga teachers, friends are super aware of this situation, and we will never ask a student go to the end of the pose. I will do it on my own because I need this. Oh my God, yes, I need to do this split because it feels so good. But I need my limits. And Pilates gave me those limits and also gave me the core awareness that I didn't understood with yoga. But when I learned it from Pilates, that is for me was easier to learn. I understood the activation of the bandhas, which is exactly the same, but it's called bandha in yoga. Oh, this is a band activation. The core activation is almost the same. So it was easier for me to do crazy poses, but safely. If you want to get better at yoga, do Pilates. And if you want to get better in Pilates, do yoga. That's what I will say.
It's amazing. Like two of them can be complementary to each other. And because they probably physically somehow share some similar aspects in Pilates and yoga. I don't know a lot about yoga and Pilates as you do, but I believe so because I practice both of them. Yes, it is a great answer to let our audience know that none of them is better than the other, but they are complementary. And if you want to get in shape quicker, reduce weight or reduce belly fat, you can actually do yoga and Pilates together, so that probably will help you achieve your weight loss goal faster. Do you agree with me, Marisela?
I totally agree with you. And that will depend also on your personality. It's like you want to go straight to the practice, just go and do Pilates. It will help you lose weight, lose belly fat, get you stronger, and get you flexible. Same thing as yoga. Pilates and yoga are not the same, but they have almost the same benefits. I will say that. Yes. And some practice will help the other and vice versa.
Yes. That's amazing to know. Okay, thank you so much for your sharing, and so happy to have you on our episode number 2 today. So in Venezuela now is summer, right? Is that summer?
We're about to go into winter. We have 2 seasons.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but winter is rain. It's not cold.
Oh, really? So Australia, we also going to the winter now. It's very cold here.
Yes, because you're in the south. No, I'm in the equator. Winter is raining a lot, or summer, which is hot, and that's it.
So basically, you have 2 seasons, like dry and rain season.
Yes,
right?
But we still call it winter or summer.
That's really interesting. Yeah, thank you, Marisela, for sharing your knowledge and your own story, personal story, how you got into yoga that inspires our listeners, our audience to probably think about yoga and practice yoga more, because it's a really quality activity that we can have for our life. Thank you so much, and I hope that we will have you again soon on our podcast, and I hope that one day soon, I think that you will teach us yoga live.
I would love to. Yes.
Yeah, I will do with you and share it with our audience. That will be fun.
That will be my honor.
Yeah. Thank you for your time, and have a good night.
Have a great night. You too. Oh, great day. You live in the future.
Yeah, we're just starting the day.
Let me know what happens, okay? I will be aware in the future.
Yeah, thank you. Amazing to talk to you.
Goodbye.